Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday night, 6 p.m. So it must be JD's League. Getting on in the season now. We're at Brazil this week. As you can see, for a short qualifying, 50% race, which is the 36 laps. Sounds like a lot of laps, but it's a short track, so it goes pretty quickly. So we've got 11 at the moment. Whether we're going to have any more joining during qualifying or not, we'll see. It tends to happen as you get into a season. As you get towards the end of a season, people do drop out if they're not doing very well and things like that. It's always a shame, but just the way it goes, unfortunately. Biggest thing to say tonight, guys, really, unfortunately, last night my phone decided to break. I thought it was my phone charger that broke, but it's turned out it wasn't the charger because I bought more chargers and they don't work either. It's actually the phone won't turn on. So I've bought a new phone and it is coming between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight. It's going to arrive, but right now I don't have one, so I can't see any comments or, well, quite honestly, I can't watch the stream at all. So for all I know, I don't even know if you can hear me. So let's just hope you can, and I'll chat away anyway. But if any problems do occur on the stream and one of the drivers out there notice it or something like that, just perhaps give me a message on Xbox. Send me a message so that it comes up. So I will not see it if you do it on Discord. So into qualifying we go. Say short qualifying. You probably see 2 or 3 runs each in this. I can't imagine. I mean, it's a short enough track. You get an 18-minute qualifying session. I'd imagine you probably can fit 4 runs in if you get out quickly. But quite honestly, no need to do it. So I would suggest that 3 would be the most. It depends a little bit on the. Now you can alter your loadouts for your tyres and that, which tyres you're going to take into the race and all that sort of thing. You may not. It may alter a little bit, so that's why you may not see the usual amount of runs in quali, because there's no point in. Quite frankly, there's no point at all running medium or hard tyres in quali. So there's a car ahead of us there. Let's see if we can find that. That's his SC. So lagging around a bit. Oh, right, okay, just bear with me, guys. I should make it better. Looks like SC's gotten out of the way, so it's a Ferrari at the front now, and that Ferrari must be then Verstappen. So, said again, this week he's been in scintillating qualifying form recently. See if we can do it again this week. Comes our first flying lap of Interlagos. Starting through turn 4, all looking pretty sweet so far. 100% sure off the top of my head what to expect around there in terms of pole position, to be honest. I think probably a low 108, but I might be wrong on that. It's not actually that long since I've done it, I just can't remember. Come up to Alpha Male. Whoopi's left the session. Hang on, Whoopi. Invite him back. So Raf just heading past the pit entry now and over the line. It's a 109.1 for a first attempt, not bad at all. This was Tank, he's gone 108.7, and Cam Dog 108.5. This is Andy Gatehouse crossing the line, 109.1. McLaren goes across the line, that's JD 108.8. Ben Taylor heading out onto the straight. One at 110.0. Gets him underway for the session. And these guys. That looks like Danny will be the next hot lap to cross the line. So we'll do a hilly hot lap at some point. It's right now. Just see people get their first laps on the board first, and then we'll go for a hilly hot lap on the second run at some point. Don't know who with yet. So here comes Danny anyway, opens up the DRS, heads to the line. Oh no, he's not on a proper lap actually, 1 minute 20.7. So it's a time on the board, but it's not a proper lap. SC's into the pits, so Whoopi is on an out lap. Let's see, who could do a hot lap today would be a good... I've done with DK before. I'm not sure if I've done with Donkey Kong before. Whoopi's just heading up to start a lap. I'm pretty sure I've done it about 2 or 3 times with Whoopi, so I won't do it with Whoopi tonight. But let's go with. I will go with either Donkey Kong or Zero Scott, whichever one of those two cross the line to start a hot lap first. I will go with. In a way, Whoopi up and running, goes purple and set to 1. Don't take too much notice of that. It's not got a lap on the board yet, so it probably isn't very accurate. Although with it being Whoopi, very much could be fastest, of course. Danny goes fastest, 108.5. Should have known he was on another hot lap. Sorry, guys. That just feeds into the idea that we should be getting a low 108, possibly even high 107 for the pole position. So Whoopi heads to the line, opens up the DRS. Carrying up. Yep, he does up the ante a little bit. 108.222, substantially quicker than anybody else actually. Is Fallen Pikachu joins us, so that will be us up to 12. DK heading for the line to start a lap, so hilly hot lap then. So obviously DRS open at this point, head for turn 1, which is this Senna S, start of the Senna S, so turn 1, 2 and 3, all part of the Senna S bend. Come out of here, open up DRS again, we head down to turn 4, which is a late break in, down to either 4th or 5th. Driver preference. Gets on the power nicely on the exit, keeps it over to the left hand side, we'll return back to the left hand side again. With this sweeping right hand there, you can see he's taking it in 6th. I think we'll see most drop to 5th, he's validated it. We've got a car behind us somewhere that could take it over. SC, let's go with you then. Back into that same corner. So SC sticking in 6th for that one. Down to 2nd. DK's managed to retire himself from the session. And here. And it's heavy braking right-hander. He's around there somewhere. He's in that wall over there. He's running the fast left-hander, flat out and flat left-hander, particularly in qualifying. May have a slight lift here and there during race. Probably depend on the wear on the tyres, but then it's basically a straight. It's pretty much continuously a left-hander, but it's effectively a straight, and that is 108.421. from SC. That puts him into P2. Nice lap. So, not sure how DK managed that, particularly on the lap he'd been validated, but out in qualifying obviously means he'll start from the back. Unless anybody gets disqualified at some point through the rest of qualifying, he will start at the back. So, under Gatehouse, just over 4 attempts up, sector 2. We're putting somewhere around P5. She goes P4, improved by just over 6 attempts in the end. So went ahead of his teammate by 9 thousandths of a second. Raf not on a lap. Anybody else? She's on an out lap now. See this middle sector, tight, twisty. It's a track where it tests the extremes of the cars. So, quarter of a second up through sector 2 for Gandog. So he's going to go back ahead of his teammate, and should actually, on the time he's improving, that will put him into P2. If he could find a bit more, he can potentially challenge Whoopi P1. Not quite, very close, 600ths off of Whoopi, but goes P2 nonetheless, so good lap. Let's just go down to Ben. But yeah, I was just saying about this track, it tests the extremes of the cars, so obviously got sectors 1 and 3, which are almost purely about straight line speed, really. You have the Senna S, of course, in sector 1, so there is some downforce required in that sector, but still, it's mostly about straight line speed. As Ben improves by almost 6 attempts and goes P9. Next, Danny. Nope, not improving. Repeat. Posting. Golden Pikachu's managed to 1094 and gone P9. So, just ahead of Ben. Zero Scott's out there. Yeah, and then of course you got the sector 2, which is basically the higher your downforce, the quicker you'll go through the sector. It's so you either set your car up for sectors 1 and 3 or sector 2, or you try to find some sort of hybrid, which I think really is what you have to do if you want to be quick. But some people do go for the low downforce setup, so they're faster on the straights, because it makes it very, very difficult to overtake them. So it's very difficult to overtake through sector 2. So Scott heads to the line then, 108.8, puts him in P7, and just look to Danny's invalidated his lap. Whoopi, I think, is on a lap now. He's invalidated there. Too much curb on the inside. So, who else? Tank maybe. I didn't get a split time, but he's just headed out onto the straight. Bit straight, so. And he is heading for the line. 108.1 goes fastest in the Williams. Superb lap from Tank. Definitely in low 108 territory for Bolt. Whether we'll get that 107 or not. We'll have to see. I still think we will. I think we'll find Danny will come out and stick a 107.6 on or something like that. Something silly like that. That's what he usually does. Zero into the pits. Fallen Pikachu. Nope, no improvement there. So I think that's everybody. I was going to say everybody done with their second runs, but we do have one. There's a few drivers out there on track, so we might have more. Oh, JD just invalidates on the outside there. It's so important to get on the power well around there, so you've just got to go for it. And if you invalidate by running wide, it's kind of so be it, because if you're back out of it, it costs you so much time, so there's no real point in it. You may as well just go for it and hope you don't invalidate, like JD did there. Tank, I would imagine, just heading into the pits now. He's done his lap, he's put in provisional pole. JD might stay out and have another go. Looks like he might. He is. The thing is, he only wants to complete this lap if it's a particularly good improvement, because if he completes this lap, he won't have enough time to get back into the pits again. So he needs to make a decision, I guess, when he's heading up the pit straight. Oh, it's going to be spin. Round he goes. Comes out, clips the curb, but gets the oversteer. That will throw you around. Nice. Takes me back to a race I saw in another league called Apex. It's somebody I know driving in that managed to do that exact thing, and he went absolutely flying across the grass, straight across the next corner, and it was like bowling. It was like 10-pin bowling, and he took 3 or 4 out in one hit. It's very impressive, I have to say. Ben's had a little spinny moment as well, same corner. It is one of the corners that you're probably most likely to see spins around here. It's not a very spinny track, you don't get lots of it, but that particular corner, coming out the centre S, you've got to be a bit careful. Other than that, it's not really anywhere else. Sometimes around the long left-hander as Ben waits there, so Danny crossing the line to start should be his final run. Also, as you can see, using 6th gear on that right-hander. So, Danny, it's a very particular driving style. You don't see many people driving like this. Look at that. Never seems to go below 4th gear. I think, I remember saying pretty much the only corner in the game that he does is the hairpin at Monaco. So there might be 1 or 2 others, but that's the only one that stands out in his mind. So, here he comes, in a way, across the line from what's going to be pole position, provisional pole position in a way. 107.9, so we've got the 107 in a way. Not improving on this lap. They will get one more run, I think. As long as they don't cause themselves any damage when they're invalidated, they will get another run. Some and there's Zero Scott, 10th and a half up. And through sector 2, he heads for the line then. Ben is into the pits and retired. And Zero Scott crosses the line, improves just under 2 temps, P7 for him. JD just starting a lap, so Zero Scott just seems to be aware because he's going to be catching up to the back of him. Go. Staffin's on an out lap. Pulling Pikachu. And he's into the pits, right. Pulling Pikachu wasn't on a lap. Tank's not on a lap, he's invalidated. I don't think him and Fallen Pikachu will get round again. No, so there's the checkered flag actually. That is Cyril Scott driving everywhere he's not supposed to, finding out what's around the track because he's finished in a way, so I think he's just having a little gander around the track, see what's there. JD. It's through the end of sector 2 is half-tenth up. And usually Verstappen in P9 at the moment. I'll flip to him in just a second. As JD crosses the line, improves by just over a tenth, but stays P8. Verstappen is improving by just under half a second. Let's see if he improves over the line a bit more. 108.5 improves just over half a second and goes P7 ahead of Cyril Scott. And that was it. There's an Alpine cross the line. I don't know what happened there. P6 for SC, there you go. So that's the end of qualifying. There you have it. So Danny takes pole with the 107.9. He did get to see a 107, very kind of him. Tank P2, Whoopi 3, Camdog 4, Andy Gatehouse in P5, SC 6, Verstappen in 7, Cyril Scott 8, JD in 9, Fulham Pikachu 10, Ben Taylor in 11, and Donkey Kong in P12. So, just do the race director in case of any incidents that may be needed, but I don't think there was. Nah, doesn't look like it. So, as you can see, nobody using more than 3 sets, which probably means they've all got a set of sauce ready for the race. Not necessarily, though. You might see different strategies around here. You might see a 2-stop around here. It may only be used if it's a safety car, but I'm not sure. But I think the general idea is 16 laps on mediums, 20 on hards around here. I think that's the general strategy. But so you might see something different. Let's see a soft medium or a soft medium. We'll see. Just want to give another shout in case anybody else has joined the stream. Just to let you guys know, I don't have a phone, so unfortunately my phone broke yesterday, so I'm unable to see any comments that you make. But please do make comments, but perhaps chat amongst each other. But so I can't see the comments or comment in Discord or anything like that. So I've got a new phone arriving between 7 and 10 tonight. And it's a big upgrade for me. I'm going from the iPhone 7 to the iPhone 12, so quite a big upgrade for me. So, here we go, onto the formation lap. So, who's doing what? Oh, a Red Bull and a Mercedes just sitting there, not doing anything. Oh, Whoopi, move, Whoopi, that's it, move. Whoopi, like me, gets a bit confused sometimes between which leagues have a break and which leagues don't. So I'm in a few leagues with Whoopi, and he does, yeah, it changes between the leagues. It can get a little bit confusing sometimes. Right then, tyre-wise, so nobody's opting to start on softs, which is a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see at least one driver start on soft tyres. I'd have been half tempted, I must admit. If I was Tank or Whoopi, Camdog or Andy, I'd have been tempted. Particularly Tank, because I'd have been thinking if I can get ahead of Danny at the start. But, right, nobody going for it, but we'll see if anybody stops early on the mediums and goes to softs or another set of mediums. So, I know in 100%, that's the thing, the last race I did around here was 100% distance, so it was very much a 2-stop, because I can tell you that, I 1-stopped and it did not work, so it was definitely a lot faster 2-stopping. I'm usually very good at looking after my tyres, so I thought I'll do a cheeky 1-stop, and because I thought I won't lose the amount of time that the game says that I might, but it didn't work, so I won't be doing that again, Ari. But obviously, the 50% race, I think, is probably quicker as a 1-stop. SC gets disqualified from the session. That's it's not parked properly in his box. So it's important that you do that, really. It does set you back quite a bit from your box. So go then, all the lights on. And away we go. And oh, Sainks had a bit of a nightmare at the start and hit the pit wall. Danny away okay. Whoopi's still going away well. Cam Dog away well. And Andy. I think everybody else is pretty much already started. Position changes. Yes, Whoopi, Cam Dog, Andy up 1 each. JD's actually up 4. That's a great start from JD. DK up 3 as well. Good start from him. Zero and Tank. Well, Zero down 4, Tank down 8. So, nightmare start for those two. It's, as I always say, a long, long way to go. So, you don't win a race at the start. You lose it, but you don't win it. Danny needs him all the way. So, at the moment, we'll be very much on the back of Danny. Did both start on the mediums. The hard tire starters were SC, Raf Stappen, and Ben Taylor. Nice to think that they could stick with Danny like this. Danny very much in the ascendancy to win the title this season. Miles ahead, really. And I think he can win it today. I'd love to confirm that for you, but because I can't get into Discord, I can't really tell yet. I think I missed a overtake from Fawn Pikachu and DK on SC there. My apologies, but you know, all this close is a bit difficult to know who to watch. There's your predicted strategy. So either a 1-stop medium hard or 2-stop soft medium medium. Looks like Danny beginning to edge a little bit. So, you can see they're all still very close. You see them all coming over the hill in the background there. Very nice view. So, just go down the tank a second as he's looking to recover after that annoying start for him, I'm sure. A brilliant qualifying, and then to start by going into the pit wall wasn't the plan. It's DRS enabled, lap 3. So we'll get that down to turn 4. Right in there in 1 second to the car ahead. So he is not going to have enough time out there though, so yeah, Cam Dog actually got Whoopi. My apologies. I'm going to all the wrong places, aren't I, at the moment? My apologies. I'm sure we'll get some overtakes in there at some point now. Shouldn't worry too much. We'll stick with Whoopi actually, because he's very much on the gearbox of this Red Bull. Not allowing Cam to get away at the moment. And Cam is just out. Oh, Whoopi runs very wide. Very, very wide. He returns to track under pressure, side by side with Andy Gatehouse. Now, I don't think Whoopi will get DRS. So he may come under pressure again from JD. Oh no, I think he has actually. Looking at it, it looked like his wing was open there. Yeah, it was. So, Whoopi looks around the outside of Andy Gatehouse. Andy holds that off. Looks like he just nips away a little bit. So, he's going to come under pressure from JD now. Down towards turn 4. Up the inside goes JD. And nicely up into P4. So, very good laps. A lap and a half there for Whoopi. Was looking for a moment like he was going to stay on the back of... Oh, that's not good from Whoopi. That was a bit of a push on JD. And JD ends up out of the race due to that. Is that going to cause a safety car? Oh, sorry for JD there. I'm afraid Whoopi's just, as they come around the right-hander together, he's caught the outside curb and it's just pushed him back across again. He's not deliberately driven into JD there. It's a case of he's hit the outside curb, and it's thrown him back into JD. Unfortunately, that doesn't help JD, of course. So Gatehouse is coming under a bit of pressure from the Ferrari of Verstappen. The Ferrari is now running P4 and P5. So Red Bull P2, P3, Ferrari P4, P5. So it'll be such a shame to lose JD there. It's so unfortunate. Just this was the corner. You're coming round here side by side, and then say unfortunately Whoopi just caught it. Well, he hits the outside curb, and the curb just drags him to the inside, which as I say just forced him to hit into JD. It certainly wasn't a deliberate thing. It was just an unfortunate one. But these things do happen. I'm just going to nip down to Tank, who's on the back of SC, because Rafa just dropped off the back of Andy a bit. So then this one looks like a definite overtake. As you see, Tank, plus he's got the DRS, so he's going to get that done nicely with it, and should create a little bit of a gap. So Tank back up into P6 as he continues to make his way through the field a bit. Make up for the poor starts going into the pit wall. Just going to go down to Whoopi. Up inside of Zero Scott up into turn 4. Better that time. So actually I saw someone come up in a league recently, so it's a good example. The incident that's happened there between Whoopi and Zero Scott. So I use that as an example. So no, as I say, absolutely no intention from Whoopi's part. Absolutely no intention to drive into him. He's trying to go around the outside and gain the place back. Obviously he catches the curb, and the curb doesn't like it, and his car doesn't like it, and it throws him back into JD, causing a retirement. So something of a similar nature happened recently in another league. So basically we had half the stewards, so I'm a head admin in this league, so I can see what the stewards are doing. We had half the stewards saying, you know, it's a racing incident because he didn't mean to do it, it's a racing incident. But the other half are saying, well, no, hang on, just because he didn't mean to do it, he's still, you know, it's still his mistake. He still made a mistake, and that's what's caused it. So in the end, it did come down on the side of giving the driver a penalty. So which I 100% agreed with, and I was very nearly at the point of having to step in and say, hey, what are you doing? You've got to give a penalty. He's taking a driver out. It may not be his fault, but he's taking the driver out because he's made a mistake, you know. So that is worth a penalty every day of the week. Penalties aren't reserved just for people who do things deliberately, because the vast majority of the time people don't do things deliberately. They're normally, probably 95% of the time, probably higher than that. Normally it's just people make a little mistake. Cause instance, and we see a mistake there from the Alpine SC round in the Senna S. Drops him down to P9. So, just realised that Tank and DK are battling on the same bit of track as we saw earlier on. It's DK had the lead quite comfortably there in the end. So Tank very much battling, looking to regain those places. So just to mention that Ben Taylor pitted, by the way, to fresh mediums. As for Form Pikachu, not exactly sure what happened to him. He's dropped down 6 seconds off the back of the pack at the moment. which is very recoverable if he drives well to the end. So, obviously, one of the things, only starting with 12 drivers at the start of this race, you only got 10 scoring places. So at the moment, with De Courcy out, it's 10 of the 11 drivers will score points today. It's very much a battle between Fallen Pikachu and Ben Taylor for that final spot at the moment, because Ben on fresh mediums that you will mean he will have to pit again, so he's basically two-stopping. He's given up on the one-stop, hard to medium, and he's pitted to mediums and amended his strategy to a two-stop instead. So, I guess try and get that job done. And Pikachu takes another jump backwards, so something's wrong with PK, with Pikachu. See any damage there, but just because you can't see it doesn't mean there isn't any. You could have rear wing or undercar damage or something like that. You just don't know. Yeah, the two main battles on track at the moment are the one we just come off of, Tank on the back of DK, still within a second, but DK has just gotten away a little bit. And there's this one, which is SC on the back of Zero Scott. SC's connections just jumping around a bit at the moment. Oh, runs out wide on turn 4, has to correct it. Corrects it very nicely. Gonna come off of him because that's jumping around, still getting on my nerves a bit there. Let's go to broadcast instead. Yeah, Tank's just dropped off now, off the back of DK. Who's our top hard tyre starter? It's Raf Stappen. So, obviously Danny dominating this race now, which you kind of expect every week from him. But the two Red Bulls, other than that, are driving fantastically at the moment. Yeah, see there, he's still just about within there 1 second as Tank pits then. So whatever the reason, he was falling off at the back of DK, so he's opted to take a pit stop instead. And he's going to the hard tyre as well. That is a long stint he's going to do on those hards. He's changing the front wing. Okay. So really he's pitted to change front wing for a wing change. So that's a long stint he's going to have to do on the hards. He's not going to enjoy the end of that stint at all. As he will exit in P10. Oh, Ben, I don't know what's... Ben falling right off at the back. I can only assume he's had another spin because... Oh no, hang on. No, my apologies. That was because Tank had dropped to P10, but because they hadn't crossed the timing thing yet, it hadn't corrected. But Ben has caught the gap up to Fallen Pikachu quite a bit. It's now 20.3. It was 26 earlier on. So he is catching. Something about that two-stop C, it does... It's definitely a possibility around here, if you ask me. It's still SC on the back of Zero Scott is our closest. Oh, that was Zero Scott. He's had a spin or something. Into the pits has Fallen Pikachu. It's Zero Scott has a spin, which has obviously allowed SC through into P7. And he'll see now if he can get after Whoopi at all. Whoopi just gradually cashing onto the Ferraris. It's going to take a little while yet. Whether he looks to undercut or not, we'll see. Good look to amend strategy and switch to a two-stop. If he does that, I'd suggest pitting sort of end of lap 14-ish. End of lap 13, end of lap 14 is about the right time if you're going to two-stop, I would say. Medium, medium, soft. Or medium, soft, medium, whichever. So he is catching the Ferraris, so he's taking 6 temps out pretty quickly there of DK, so he may opt to stick to the plan and just gradually make his way back up. Pikachu, having made that pit stop, by the way, has come out just behind Ben. And he has gone to his hard tyres. It's very early pit stops for some of them. Well, Tank and Fallen Pikachu, just call him Pikachu, it's easier. Tank and Pikachu definitely pitted them very early for the hard tyres. So you normally, at one stop, you're looking 16 on the mediums. So, and you might even extend that slightly, so sort of more even, 18 and 18. So, really, oh, yeah, actually, let's go to Pikachu and Ben, who are battling now. So, see Pikachu in the Haas. We get DRS here. Not really getting the speed advantage there, is he? On if he's running a higher wing on the Tauri. Should get an idea here. It's a better exit with the extra grip. Opens up the DRS and is going to be slightly ahead going into turn 4. Oh, goodness me. That was a few. So Pikachu gets that move done. Into the pits comes Camdog from P2. Onto the hard tyres. Whoopi goes through. And it looks like SC's carrying on as well. He's going to go through as well. And it does look like Camdog's going to come out in a pretty good bit of space, actually. He's going to come out behind SC by the looks of it, a couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds behind him. So that's not a bad little bit of space that he can drive into. So obviously he's got to get those hards up to temperature as we get Zero Scott having a spin out of turn 4. So since we saw them, Ben is very much staying on the back of Pikachu at the moment. Oh! Full sector yellows, full track yellows. So that is a virtual safety car. Danny into the pits. He's going to make his... It's pretty good timing for the front runners, isn't it? Just double checking it. Yeah, it is definitely a virtual. Some will opt to go through, but ultimately these guys will gain time by pitting under virtual safety car. So it was Verstappen that stayed out. Obviously he started on the hard side, so yeah, it would have been a bit on the early side for him, wouldn't it? So he stayed out instead. And so did SC, who also started on the hard, so yeah, again, it would have been early for him. But everybody else, or all the medium runners that hadn't pitted yet, all in. And VSC ends. So Whoopi and Tank certainly not getting the full effect like the cars ahead of them. Whoopi wasn't too bad, he was sort of out pretty much, so here we go then, Zero in as well. So that was a very easily caused that virtual safety car, to be honest. Obviously a bit of debris that I assume from Zero Scott's spin. As Ben picks himself up a penalty, still on the back of Pikachu. Let's go down to that one again. So remember, this is for the final point. As it stands right now, I don't think any of the ones still to pit are going to fall sort of down into this sort of territory. But of course, you never know. There could be a safety car at some point. So, oh, Ben! He's had a little spin. I think he's managed to avoid hitting the barrier. He's not got any front wing damage that I can see, so I think he's got away with it a little bit. And the gatehouse then very close to the back of his teammate after all the pit stops are done. Getting used to the hard tyres a bit quicker than Cam-Dog. So, you can see though, Danny just 4 seconds off of Verstappen. Really did gain an advantage. And I'm just looking down, where would we expect Verstappen? If we say 20 seconds, that's 7, that's 11.4. He's going to come out, technically right now, he should come out between DK and Whoopi. But that gap will, obviously, he's going to be losing time on the Warren hard tyres at the moment, so that will keep changing. And I suspect by the time he does pit, which could be in 2 or 3 laps time, that Whoopi will be in a point where he will nip ahead of him. But of course, Verstappen will have that wonderful feeling of coming out on fresh medium tyres. Well, everybody else has done sort of 4 or 5 laps on their new hard tyres already. So, you can certainly see an attacking stint from Verstappen. Second stint. His SC gets him, well, he moves out of the way of the Red Bulls. I'm not entirely sure why he's done that. They're obviously a lot faster than him, but because they're on fresh tyres, but you know, he's still there. That was for a position. He was entitled to race. On the other hand, I guess I can understand a little bit, because he might have thought, if I can hold on to the back of them and pick up DRS and get dragged around, it may actually help him in the long run. It'll be very, very hard for him to stay on the back of those 2 Red Bulls at the moment. Danny is very close onto the back of Verstappen now. We will nip up to that in just a moment. In fact, we'll do it now because I don't think it's going to take long. And we haven't seen much of Danny really since the start of the race, so why not? There he goes. Look at the extra grip he's got to get the pace. Helps you accelerate to see if you've got extra grip. Oh, goodness me. That was a terrible angle. Yellow flags. Is that Whoopi? Yeah, it was. Ah, that's going to hurt his recovery then, isn't it? It's a shame, that one. But in a way, Danny back into the lead of the race. We are on lap 20, so this is the lap you'd expect Verstappen to pit. Now, obviously that spin's going to help him. That spin from Whoopi. He should now just come out behind his teammate DK. By a few seconds, I would have thought. But that's what sort of laps DK's been putting in. Whoopi is out. That's at the centre S. That's going to cause a safety car. Yeah, that's a full safety car. Oh, well, there you are, Raf. Have a safety car for your pit stop. That didn't work out bad for you, lad, did it? Well, if anybody else has got a fresh set of medium tyres they can go to, they'd be better off doing that than staying on hards, in my opinion. But we'll see. But, obviously, Verstappen into the pits. Danny into the pits. Technically, Danny didn't need to pit. But, was taking the option. I hadn't realised he'd gone to medium tyres. So take that back. He did need to pit because he'd done medium, so he most definitely did need to pit. He's actually gone to soft tyres. This would be a mighty stint on soft tyres. Cam Dog takes the lead of the race. Raf then exited in P3. So as you see, those guys that pitted to the hards to go to the end have all... Yeah, they have all gone to medium tyres. At the moment, apart from Pikachu, but he hasn't made it back round to the pits yet, so... He potentially actually could stay out and do another lap before pitting, just to give himself an extra lap. Ooh, goodness me, I thought he was going to fly into the barrier then. So, well, safety car obviously take a couple of laps. It's going to take a while for Pikachu to catch up to the back of it, so hence why I thought he might stay out on that one. I'm a little bit surprised he pitted then. I'd definitely have done another lap before pitting. Don't always enter your mind that quick. Sometimes you just think, oh, safety car will pit, and do it, and then you think, oh, actually I probably could have stayed out another lap there. Every little helps in F1, so having one lap less wear on the tyres is better than having one lap more wear on the tyres. To give you an idea, the safety car just heading down towards turn 4. Pikachu's just coming out the final corner that puts you onto the pit straight. Well, he's got Xeroscope behind him as well, actually, so Zero also has to catch up. Ben, unfortunately, has got caught behind the safety car. I'm sure he's managed that. He's taken a pit stop as well, so... a bit of a Homer Simpson dull moment then from Ben. So pit stop. He can move over and let him through, but so he can one lap himself, but I guess, ultimately, the way this track is, in fact we're going to be restarting on a pretty long straight, ultimately Cam wouldn't mind having the extra car in between him and Danny. Danny, despite it being a lapped car, Danny can't overtake it. Just like the normal rules as if it was any other car, so... the back markers now are getting onto the back of the safety car, so this will be the final lap under safety car. We have only just started, it's going to be a minute and a half, or 2 minutes, yeah, but so that will mean that we will resume lap 23, that means 14 laps remaining. That's some stint Danny's asking from the soft tyres, that's more like a medium stint, to be honest. But, we'll see how he copes, obviously with his pace. He'd have to wear extra amounts for him to start losing time, so... Oh, that's a spin from a Red Bull. That's Cam. Now, is that happened because he tried to let the back marker through, which he has done, so Ben's been released. But has Cam spun because of doing that? Or did he just spin himself? Very unusual spin. But, I've got a sneaky feeling he might have been pulling over to, you know, trying to let the back marker through to unlap himself and spun doing it. And the safety car's coming in this lap, so Ben's not even going to get a chance to catch up to the back of the safety car. So if Cam did do that to let the back marker through, it was way too late, and not helped anyone because he's ended up down at P9, and the back marker is still going to be a good, at least half a lap down. Anyway, we get going again. Danny obviously leading the restart this time. Bit of fighting going on. Andy, you need to drop back. You can't be alongside the car ahead of you. Naughty restart that from Andy in my opinion, but I don't think he's gonna. He might gain a place. See, he does gain a place, and yeah, that's an illegal overtake in my opinion. But let the stewards deal with that if they want to submit anything. Anyway, Danny, you'd expect on fresh soft tyres, was probably gonna disappear in the lead in the early parts here. It's just whether we can get them to the end or not. And in P2, then we're Verstappen P3. We have a Ferrari of DK in P4 on a very nice race. Oh, but one of them spun. I think that's Raf. It is, and SC spun as well. They both spin at the same spot. I hope that Alpine doesn't solidify right now. That'd be a horrific sight to see. Oh! Oh, I thought it did then. I thought it had. So no, it stayed. Posted. Now it's solidified. See, no DRS. We're on a safety car restart. So Pikachu up into P5 now. That's what safety cars can do for you, see? So, Zero and SC continue this fight. Good one to watch, but to say no DRS, so not an easy one to make at the moment. SC is having another look down towards turn 4. Seems to ghost a bit then, but so SC is it does appear that SC is jumping around the screen a bit for me. Which does make it a bit difficult sometimes when you're trying to. You want to race with them, they're there to race the same as anybody else, but it does make it difficult sometimes. I don't think it's a crossplay thing because Pikachu's on PC as well, and he seems to be running fine. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just I don't know. I've had some problems the last couple of nights actually with my internet because of the weather, so it was pretty bad around where I am in Devon. Verstappen sets fastest lap of the race. Certainly showing his pace. Pace he's got. He'd have thought that fastest lap would have gone to Danny on fresh softs, but I guess actually he's got to try and eat those softs out to the end, so maybe he doesn't want to be setting fastest laps, maybe just wants to drive pretty conservatively on them to try and eke them out. And close run here. If we've still got Zero Scott and SC battling, SC is ahead at the moment. We'll just nip back down to them so we're a bit closer than these guys. We'll go back to Raf then. So the RS is going to enable. We've got a yellows. It's Zero Scott, and he is out. So no, he's retired on track there. That's naughty from Zero Scott. You shouldn't be retiring on track, but he definitely did because the car has moved. If you crash and it takes your wheel off, it doesn't move the car at all. So he has decided himself to retire on track, which is naughty, especially when you're about 200 meters away from the pit entry or something. So leaves the session. Anyway, back to a battle. So SC and Pikachu. So I think that was a bit of a rage quit there from Scott. So, up the inside goes Verstappen with the DRS, makes the move, gets that done. So any chance Cam Dog can come back at him on the lead up to turn 4. He will pick up the DRS here. I think he's a bit too far back, so that is move completed for Verstappen. Obviously, Cam Dog is opted to stay out on his hard tyres, so he is going to find it difficult defending, to be fair, let alone attacking. So, anyway, it's a battle here for P2. So, Andy Gatehouse currently occupies P2, DK in P3 in the Ferrari, and that's Tank on the back of them in the Williams. He's recovered pretty well, to be fair to him. He's that horrendous moment at the start where he hit the pit wall. He has recovered well. Question still remains, of course, if Danny can make it to the end on those softs. It's going to be... Wow, they're going to be stinging by the end of it. Let's put it that way. Put it politely. Okay. DRS every single time. Wow, look at this. Very impressive, actually. DK he gets overtaken by Tank. All three of them really conserving their ERS at the moment. All of them above 50%, which is a bit surprising. Tempted if I was Andy to use a bit here, because he's just about got him out of 1 second. He's got a lot of ERS as Andy, so yeah, no, he's not. And I'd have been tempted there, I must admit. Tank's used quite a bit, actually. Obviously, Tank, I'm guessing, was thinking he needs to get back onto the back of Andy Gatehouse, because if he's actually fallen outside the 1 second for the DRS, it's going to be sitting duck for the Ferrari. So, just about see in the background, there's a little battle going on. There's a freeway battle going on there as well. So we've got 2 freeways at the moment. To their own. And DK has fallen off the back of this, and I think let's get the penalties up then, guys. So, right then, so 3 seconds for Andy Gatehouse, 6 for Tank and DK, 3 for Verstappen. Ever so slightly catching the back of this, but very, very slowly. Cam Dog SC, both penalty free, 15 seconds for Pikachu. It's a horrible one. And Ben Taylor with free. Obviously Danny at the front on penalty free as well. Again, guys, and we're getting quite late in the race. I just want to remind anyone that unfortunately my phone broke last night, so if anybody is making any comments, I don't have access to the actual stream on my phone to be able to reply to them, or see them to be able to respond to them, so I do apologise if anybody's made any comments which I've not replied to. I just can't see them. I've got a new phone, should be arriving anytime between now and 10 PM. So look forward to that, actually. This battle's still going on. I think Cam might be having a look at Verstappen on board. So, as these laps have gone on, I guess the performance is I'm slightly back to Cam Dog as being on the hards. They're not wearing as fast. Sorry, what's happened there? That's Danny. He's into the pits, so he couldn't get the softs to the end. So that's a pit. I have no idea why he went to softs. Maybe he saw it as a challenge to try and get there, but couldn't do it. They're going to explode on him. So into the pits he comes. Tank takes the lead. And the Gatehouse, who's now got 6 seconds as well, so top 3 all with 6 seconds of penalties. Campbell would love to be able to, well, how he'd love to get a bit more performance back in these hards compared to the mediums out there. Catch up, penalty free, but be an extremely tall order. At the moment, I think the Ferrari in front of him is helping him more than hindering him right now. So ultimately, if he got past, I don't think he'd really have the. Oh goodness me! I was going to say if he got past, I don't think he'd really have the legs to get away and such. He's SC all over the back of him. That's a genuine position as well. Both penalty free. A little wobble from Cam at the start of this NS. Just allowed SC back onto the back of him. Just drops him behind Verstappen a bit. So, I think, guys, ultimately, as great as this battle is, I think I do need to go to the front. We've got the front 2 at the moment, really battling for the win. So, cross the line once more. 3 laps remain. 3 laps for Andy Gatehouse to try and get past Chris Williams. Gets a much better centre S this time. But it's the whole thing, and it's what's Tank on energy-wise? He's like 5% less than Gatehouse, but nothing really. But the old thing for Gatehouse, isn't it? When does he make the move? You know, perhaps making it this lap would have been the wrong thing to do, because it'd be a lap too early. I think lap 35 is the lap he needs to make the move. I don't think you want to leave it to the last lap because you don't get the full DRS zone on the home straight. So ideally, lap 35 on the way down to turn 4 would be the sweet spot for me. I think that's the best place he could go for a move. Got DRS here, let's just help him to the back. Here, catching a black mark or anything, so no traffic ahead. Oh, Andy. The moment where you feel like just lobbing your steering wheel or your pad at the wall. He picks up another 3 seconds, and just to rub salt in the wound, he gets the move done as well. So he gets up into P1. But picked up 3 seconds, which is going to ultimately lose him this race. In fact, it might even drop. I think it will drop him off the podium. That is a really painful 3 seconds. It's really tight as to whether it dropped him off the podium. Very close, I think. We'll see, I guess, but. Right now it would. It's very tight to Verstappen being 6 seconds behind, so well, is Tank gonna bother? Is he gonna bother trying to make the move? Get close enough. It's turn 4, and so you don't really get the opportunity on the last lap down the home straight unless you come out absolutely on their gearbox. Camdog and SC are fighting and switching positions and all sorts. Cam, I think the tires have disappeared on him a bit as he has dropped away from Verstappen. So let's see to the line, but it looks to me that Camdog will hold this as Andy Gatehouse crosses the line in P1. Tank crosses in P2, DK promoted to P2, Verstappen does get promoted to P3. Oh no, something else has happened. Camdog's suddenly gone up to P2, I don't think that's right. I know he was penalty free, but Camdog and SC have gone up to P2 and P3. They'll have to look at that, that is so close, look at that. I think JD, I don't know if you're listening out there, buddy, but if you are, you might need to look at the end of that again and just work out that if that's correct or not from the game, because it seems a bit off to me. In a way, Verstappen P5, Andy Gatehouse P6. My phone, I think, has just arrived, guys, so I'm just going to the door.
Good evening.
Hello there, buddy. Alright, thank you very much. Yeah. Excellent, cheers, buddy. Thank you. Superb. Lovely. I love it when a plan comes together. So, Game Awards Driver of the Day 2 Tank. He's won, he's had to fight back. Not really, his own fault. He dropped down the course, making a mistake at the start. Also picked up 6 seconds of penalties, which is a big no-no from me when it comes to giving Driver of the Day out. Let's have a quick look at the end. Let's have a look. I'll have to work on the idea that the game has got the position spot on. So as I say, JD, if you're out there, you will want to double check that, I think. So when I was doing my counting, my counting was not working out that Camdog and SC were moving up where they did at all. So I think that needs double checking. Well, but as I say, for Driver of the Day, I've got to work on the positions as they are. Just to mention, Danny got fastest lap as well, 109.269. So in that case, my Driver of the Day goes to Camdog. So congratulations. I think that's 2 days in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Although SC as well, fantastic race. I think SC's connection, no, I think connection buddy was causing an issue or two. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Camdog for holding out for a P2 on those hard tyres then. Just to finish off the positions, was given DKP 4, Verstappen 5, Andy Gatehouse 6, Danny 7, Pikachu in 8, and Ben Taylor 9. There we go, everybody else out. Let's just quickly go through instance if I can get through them all. Scroll down as quick as possible. Go, 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 go. Oh, didn't quite get there, but very close. Well, there we go. That's Brazil. That was quite an enjoyable race. Quite like that one. There's lots of battling going on all the way through that. So for a race that had just the 12 drivers at the start, that was really fun to watch. So well done to the drivers. Any of the drivers out there, just so you guys know, I've just had my phone delivered. I've got to set it up and all that. But so right now, I'm not on the Discord. I can't get on there, so I can't come on and say anything. But thank you to any of you that have watched with me today, and apologies that I haven't responded to any comments that may have been made. I will be back on at 8 PM for WAOF1, so please come and join me for that. Obviously, JD's League will be back 6 PM next week on Tuesday. But to say, I'm back up at 8 PM, so please come and join me. Thank you to everybody that's watched live with me. Thank you to everybody that watched the stream back. I really appreciate it. As so do all the leagues that I commentate for, so thank you ever so much. Hopefully see you at 8 o'clock. Good night.